if you don't have anybody,
they will take
then they have a right to take them away from you. We use demonstration, we use knowledge partnership, and we go by court. So majority of this local authority are the one now that are referring parents to us because they know that there are more for both parties to learn from. And especially in COVID, they are short of staff. The workload is too much on these social workers. They don't have time to even understand what problem family is facing because of the workload they give to them. And they were changing from one local authority to another. They think it will be easier in another local authority, they ran away. Before you know, and most of local authority now, they are using agency worker. And you know what agency worker does, even in NHS, healthcare. They just come and do the job and go because this is not where they build their career. So if they create a mess down, who is going to clean that mess? It's we. That's why we create that course. If you come to this country, if you know you're already given visa, it's better you do that course before you even come. People register from Cameroon, from anywhere before they come. That course will give you about understanding of the UK child protection safeguarding, what can happen and what can bring social worker into your life. And even if they come into your life, involved with your life, how do you manage that situation? Because if you don't handle it carefully, it will be a complicated matter. And who is going to lose? Parent, child will lose. The system knows care system is last resort. They should never take it lightly. But some don't care because they have a much workload to do. So they don't want something bad to happen and it will come on them. So they rather want to take that child away. So if they come to you or you go to school, you want to pick your child, they say you cannot pick your child, you better quickly looking for one or two families that can help you to look after that child temporarily. So that if they say, okay, do you have anybody? Yes, you have somebody. Because if you don't have anybody, then they have a right to take them away from you. If they raise concern about mother or they raise concern about father, then can they allow mother to, is there anywhere they can provide for mother or father? It's not something life. Just immediate support. Immediate support. And before you know, there might be no concern because it's the stages. When there's a disclosure, they have to do what we call strategy meeting. And it is at that strategy meeting they will decide whether there's a harm, likely harm, or there's just a need. Whether they want to put that child in need, or there's need to put in child protection, or there's need to issue proceeding letter for court proceeding. It's a 3 stages. On many occasions, they might not get to that level, but it depends on who handle your case or who you first tell your story to. Most times, police will come involved. That strategy meeting, all the time, not most time, all the time, strategy meeting, police will get involved, health visitor will get involved, social worker will get involved, school will get involved. That is why when you come to this country, after you register your child, you got your BRP, make sure you register for GP, register for dentist, eyes check, all those things, and make sure you do not miss any of those appointments. And when you are taking your child to school, be careful. Don't be on phone 24/7. Don't pick them late. If you do night shift, make sure you sleep very well. Don't oversleep. Leave them in school more than necessary. It's like red flag. These are the red flag. And their clothes, their uniform should be neat, tidy. They look good. They look healthy. And try to get support network. Because if they see that you don't have a support network, you want to do Oyinbo, now only you won't live in where you'll be only person different. I'm sorry for you. Because it takes a village to raise a child. We need ourselves. And also learn about the system. First of all, you can ask, is there any vacancy position for governor, school governor, parent governor? Try to be parent governor because you understand this and they respect you more because you are part of decision making for that school. You are part of decision making. You know, when you are part of decision making, you also go through some training, and people don't want to volunteer. Volunteering is the secret way of getting best in this country. You develop yourself, you establish the contact, network, and you have access to information. Knowledge is power. I'm a parent governor in 2 schools. I'm a public governor in ambulance service. I'm head of, I was chair independent advisory group for police. And not only that, I'm a member of scrutiny panel, Crown Position Service. I face myself in those power of authority. There's no information from A to Z I don't know. And I provide advice for people. And I read so much because you have to be willing to learn. That's the secret. Just learn. So understanding the system, creating good atmosphere for your family, setting the family values. You know, all these simple family values: be honest, don't lie, be respectful, be friendly. All those, if a child did something contrary to that, and you tell them, for you doing this, what does this say? What does the Bible say? What does this one say? Not that you are the one silencing them. They also know that, oh, this is not good for a child of God. Like you've mentioned, Catholic school. But some Catholic schools are horrible as well. You remember what the Catholic did to Africans when they take the religion down there, you know. So we've got a case that we handle. They lost 4 children into care within a couple of months, and they are in Catholic school. Why? A young child of 5 years old, a boy of 6 or 7 was putting hands in a private part in school. And that child told the teacher. And the teacher, instead of that teacher to look into that matter, they asked, did anybody do that at home as well? And he said, one time, my brother did that. That was how they got involved with their family. They took their children, all of them, 3 of them, and the mother gave birth. Shortly after that, they took that baby as well. Based on this thing, and that 7-year-old white British, they did nothing to the family. And this mother, she had the baby through C-section. They have to go to mother and daughter placement. And that is why, if you listen to Esther's case, I said, don't ever accept that. Because most mother and daughter placement is a trap for families, African families. They will say, while you are breastfeeding, you fell asleep. They will say the way you bathe your baby. They will say the way you handle your baby. They just want to establish more evidence for you. The mother passed through hell. Somebody that did C-section, it's tear again. She has to rush back to hospital emergency because of the pressure. Even the judge said, this is injustice. If you want to come back to this court and sue the local authority, please feel free to do that. Because they just intervene unnecessarily. Something they're supposed to investigate about concern, they left that one just to go and attack. And can I tell you something? The matter that happen in schools that you don't like, your child tells you, there's a way you handle it. If you just go to school to tell them, before you know, in a week's time, they will tell you your child said this, that. Just to use it to close the matter and silence you, that who are you? How dare you? Where are you coming from to challenge us? That's what they do to families. There's one case we just finished. A child went home, tell mom, when I go to toilet, my child said I should touch breast. And the mommy went to go and say, how could a teacher take my boy to toilet after using the toilet, say I should touch breast? They say it's not happening, it's not like that. That is not what happened, nothing like that. They sent social worker immediately. When social worker get to social worker said, the boy did not say that. All what the boy was saying is, mommy beats me, daddy beats me. we have to fight to change that social worker. And the new social worker they bring in, she now said that why could somebody just left something tangible like this
Like that.
and create another stories out of blue anywhere, And once they put those things in your record, in fact, we've got family that they lost their job just because that happened. So if you want to pick a shift 247, you need money, and you ignore your child, let me tell you, you will lose that job completely. Not only that, you will face criminal conviction if you don't know, if it doesn't end that way, and you might be liable to be deported.
Hmm.
So why not plan yourself 2, 3 shifts and make sure you look after that child?
That child.
Prioritize the needs of a child, because the problem will come back to us.
Hmm.
You will be getting money, but when the problem comes, you'll be complaining you don't have money. And who is going to pay our own bills for us giving you time to sort this mess? Local authority that is paying £1 million per child.
Hmm.
Do you think they want that £1 million to stop?
A waste.
And majority of these children are not staying in fostering home. They ended up in mental health hospital. They end up in care home. And when they go to care home, you see how they start misbehaving. You see the life they expose them to. Your child that is godly start telling you, Mommy, no, I don't want to open Bible. Don't even bring Bible close to me. We got it. The children we got back, one of the little girls, they came back with a report that this child said she doesn't feel to be a girl. She seems it's a body of man. What will you do? They want the mother to go against it so that they will use that as against that mom. You just tell the mom, thank God the child is coming back home. We have a conversation. Let us know what and how it got to that point. If it's something that is genuinely wished to, then there will be a support. And when she gets to that level, she will make that decision. But as far as she's still a child, teach your child the way of the Lord. When they grown up,
They
then
won't depart from it.
they won't depart from it. But if you allow them to come into your life, once they take their child out of your custody, out of the shelter of the Lord, then it is going to lead to genocide. They are out of their culture, they're out of their values, they're out of their norms, and it's just completely different world. Where they are taking them to because of likely harm, they are actually abusing them there. This is a child you take away because she messed up a room that, both parents, when we are cleaning up in this country, that's why I said I was cleaning up. But where you come from, maybe it's only your wife that will clean up.
It's only your wife that cleans up.
Now, when you were two cleaning up together and they are still messing things up, how much more if it's a single parent? And that single parent still want to go to work. And guess what? That single parent still thinking of somebody in her life to come to her life. She wants to be talking to someone. She's missing someone. A lot is happening on that parent. Instead of you to see how best can we support you. And most of African women now, they remain in abusive relationship because if they speak up, they don't get the support. They blame themselves for speaking up. So how do we create that balance? That is why we are filling that gap, building the bridges, breaking barriers. At initial stage, some local authority, they don't want to get involved. They don't want to talk to us because they know that we go for it, we get it. But now they realize they can't do without us because it's become a global voice now. So if it happens, we are there for you, but we prefer not to happen. That is why we said, come for early intervention. Get that knowledge when there's still time. And sometimes we wish a case to close sooner, so that even if they do any injustice, once the case is closed, then we work with you. And because the court is expecting you to come back, parents don't know. After they say your child is not coming back, 18 years, after 6 months, the court is expecting you to come back.
Okay.
To come back to do what? To come and apply to discharge the care order. And the only thing you need to do is to prove to them there's a significant change. There's a change. We've got a child, siblings, they were fighting each other. And local authority get involved. They took one child away. After 2 months, that child was raped. You separated two siblings because they are fighting each other. But now that child was under your care and you swept it under carpet.
My God.
Can that go out of the memory of that child? Can that go out of the memory of the other siblings? Can that go out of the memory of the mom or dad? They are causing more chaos to families. That is what we said, no to social injustice. We did not ask any social worker not to do their job. And that is why on our platform, it's a free space for them to put comments, but they should be careful of what comment they put there, because we are in very good contact with the British Association of Social Workers. If anybody mess up, we can report them to them. Because they too have written to us. They acknowledge the work we do, and they also understand there is overrepresentation of African children in care system. They know it's a racial bias injustice. If your pastor tells you it's not racist, it is a lie. It is. If they say it's not discrimination, it is a lie. It is. If they said they are doing their job, it is you. Some people will say, "Oh, if there's no smoke, there's no smoke. What would they?
There's no smoke
without fire." My sister, we've got 2 doctors. They call us. They were emergency theater, so saving lives. When they realized that the partner cannot take a child in school, it was there. Another doctor gave them our contacts, and God did it for us. But sometimes the way they come to your life, they put that panic, that shock in you. They will start telling you, "I've discussed with my manager, this is what you need to do." But when we get involved, they now know that you know the law. They will not start breaking it down for you, because all these words, child protection, child in need, section 47, inquiry investigation, section 17 assessment, it's jargons. If you don't study it, you don't know it. People don't know it. In fact, if they tell you that, "Oh, are you ready to work with us?" It's a 2 different words. If you say yes, they will take it as if you have signed consent for section 20. So when we are asking parents, "Have you signed a document?" Say no. But when we wrote to the local authority will say they agreed to work with us. That is section 20 for you. So seek legal advice. And in this UK, I only have 2 female solicitors that I'm using in this whole UK. Tested and trusted. Because I've got African lawyers that they saw a case like this, they blocked me on WhatsApp. They said I should not send case to them like that case. But now they unblock again when they see the victory, the success stories we are making. But before we make this success story, we pay the price. We use our life, our blood, our everything, especially to the team members and the parents that trusted us. The mother said, "Why was this course not there years ago?" Because it's just like they want to run mad. But this course has helped them so much. It's like a God answered their prayer. Because parenting is challenging. And no one is perfect. But the system don't know that coming to this country, you suffer a lot before you migrate, before you make decision to even migrate. When you now think you are coming here to study, you brought your children, at the end of the day, they took that children away from you. What's the point? What's the purpose? What do you want to tell your family back home? your grandma, your grandpa that has been calling them every weekend. What will you go to tell them if they call? Will you say they went on holiday? How long?
Wow.
So once again, thank you for inviting us. We are there. We are accessible. We are visible.
Thank you,
So
sir. That's been very, very detailed, and it's covered almost all my other questions. So lastly, just because the video is getting long, how can we find you? And you mentioned some courses. So what platforms are you, and what is the course, and is it paid for your service and all that? Just in summary, so we can round up, please, sir.
yeah, the course we started it July 2020, free. It got to a point we got funding from National Lottery, so we continue free with people. County Durham, we continue free with people. Together, Middlesbrough and Cleveland, we continue free, but we exhausted that funding at the moment. So we ask parents to be making donations, but parents don't make donations. They think, oh, and we say, okay, that's fine if you don't make donation, but it's something worth to pay for. So what we do is people will register, and once they register, we now tell them this is what will cost you to do it. It's your choice if you want. And if you don't want to pay for it, go to our YouTube channel, Save the Woman. We've got some free module on the platform. For instance, course 101 is 4 modules. So we put the one module there free for you. So if you watch one module, it's very detailed. It's even enough for you. But you know it's not going to be enough because there are lots that you need to learn because we give you the breakdown. So you know we did not cover everything. So if you really find it helpful, then reach out to us. There's a link there. Or you go to our website, Save the Woman. You see the icon, search for courses. Once you click the courses, you'll see it there. Or you go to YouTube, start Save the Woman, search Africentric. It's a brand. If you search it, you'll get some of our courses free. And the one of parenting teenagers, we also put one module there free.
Okay.
But there's a particular one we put there. It's about art talk with men. Men, particularly African men. There's more to gain if you create time for your families. There are egos. There's a way you can maintain your egos, but at the same time, that ego can push you to egoistic life in trouble. Women have that basic rights, and all you need is having that conversation with your woman, and it gives you a recipe of how to nurture your marriage. Can I tell you something? Coming to this country is advantage knowledge to us. We come here for prosperity, we come here to make things in life, but at the same time, it teach you how to create that more bonding with your wife and your children. There are a lot to learn in this country. There are a lot to learn. Look at the relationship I've talked about my daughter. Your child will never be silenced anywhere. They will speak for themselves. They will speak for themselves. And they tell you, and they respect you. People brought up children in this country. They are doing well.
They are doing well. True. Very true.
They are doing well. So it's opportunity for you to win too. And there are ways you can bring heart of your wife out in this country. If you listen to that course, it will tell you that your wife will even love. Like it's like a love portion we put there for you.
I need to go and look for it.
It's like a love portion in a sense that you know there are things that you do. Can you rape your wife as a married man? Yes, you can.
You can.
You can. Because to have that intercourse is a process. And if your woman is not ready, if you don't start it, switch it on, light it, ignite it, and you just want to jump on it, you put yourself in trouble. And that woman just come from work. And you think you are maintaining your right. You are not maintaining your right. You can put money together, but you have to create that conversation. so that that woman will not feel as if, oh, you just make a decision. You need to build that. Love is sweet, though. The only secret to it is that communication, understanding each other, tolerance, to tolerate. Nobody is perfect in this world. Nobody. Nobody is perfect. And if you don't build that relationship, you will definitely end up in trouble. Not just yourself, your children. So instead of having that conflict, because if you want to separate, you can separate. Just make a plan. Small thing. Okay, how do you want to look after that child? The first thing I learned in this country, when the volunteers, team members for Save the Woman, student that time, I realized one of the ladies, she called her boyfriend that, oh, hello, ex-boyfriend, I want to go out with my love. Would you mind come and take the kid, the child out? The child she has already had with another person. You are calling the ex-boyfriend to come and take that child. And I was waiting to look at them to see. And he came. They were even offering, do you want to stay in our house or you want to take him to your place? And when we finish, we'll come and pick him up. African man. Somebody. And you say you don't want this woman again. So what is the problem? Somebody taking her out again. What is still reading your mind? But it's the culture, it's their understanding. And that is why we are protecting our own culture as well. If this is not acceptable, we don't want to bring our child here. At the end of the day, get to your system, you corrupt them, and they are not fit for another system. Who tells you that we want to stay here for life? We might decide to go to US, Canada, back to Africa. They should be fit global child. And in this country, if you are struggling, your budget, let your children know. So that they know that, oh, daddy don't have enough now. Yes. When daddy has more, he will take us out. Not that your child will now be going outside and hungry. Daddy don't buy me this. I ask for this. People that even that are getting benefits is the worst thing. Because why British, if they are getting benefit, they tell them this is your benefit. You need to buy your things there. You need to buy this. Oh, mommy, out of my money, can I have this? So. Which African mother you want to ask out of my money? So, don't you eat last week? Don't you eat 2 days ago? And those children, they go to school, they start telling themselves, I bought this newly. Where do you get money from? I've got money. Ask your mom. And your child will not come home to ask you about that money. So if you're a migrant, if you're a international student, let your child know you are not collecting benefit. So that child will not be thinking you are collecting benefit. I will be expecting you to pay that money. You are not public fund.
Yeah, true.
It's what you work for, you get paid for, and you manage those money.
That's it.
And take them out. Don't keep them indoor. There's no sand they want to play with. There's no tire they want to play around with. So if they are typeless, let them know it's not good to stay longer. They can stay a little while. At the same time, they can do this and that. Eat together. Great time to be eating together with your children. Once, it's not every time, you might not have that time, but once a while. And doesn't cost much to take them out, take them to park, take them, most of our children now, since we come here, they don't even know there's airport in this country again. Because we've not taken them out again since we come.
Since they came, there's no holiday, nothing. That's true.
So please take them on a trip. Most local authorities, if they take a child on Friday, a week after, they took them on cruise.
They take them on holiday.
On holiday. Always let them know there's nobody that can love them more than their parents. But if you are telling them, let them see it as well.
That's true.
Let them also let them not just something that is not reality in life. Nothing bad in telling your wife you are sorry. Nothing bad in telling your husband you are sorry. Create that conducive atmosphere. Balancing your opinion, your view, and accepting it. If you did something wrong, why not speak out? You did something wrong, apologize. Because that's one of the social workers they won't tell you. You need to you apologize, but don't let them trample on your rights. That's why we said speak out, ask for help. But if you ask for help, take a break. Don't front it, because they will see it as if you are not listening to them. Let your lawyer speak for you. Let your advocate speak for you. And we are here. If you need us, go to Twitter. We are there. Instagram, TikTok. We are available.
YouTube.
And
Right.
YouTube.
Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you so. In fact, personally, I've learned a lot. And I'll make my husband watch this video as well. So that we can also learn from what you've said. I'm so honored to have you here, sir. In fact, when you responded to my message, I was like, oh my God, he's responding. I'm so honored that you agreed to come on my platform. And I hope people will learn from this. And once I post it, I will let you know. Thank you so much for coming. God will bless you and bless everything you lay your hands on. We are seeing your work. I just discovered you. When was I messaging? That was the first day I discovered you, and I was like, I'm glued already. I shared one of your video on Facebook, and everybody was like, where are they? Where are they? How can we reach them? That was like, oh, I have to bring you so that you can tell us how we can find you, because they were all asking. Most people were asking for your contact, and they wanted more videos on Facebook. I said, no, I need to ask for permission from you. So thank you so much, sir, for doing this. And I pray God will help us. At the end of the day, we will not lose our children. I will not lose everything that we have worked so hard
Amen.
for.
Amen.
Thank you,
Amen.
sir. Thank you so much.
That is why we come here, and that is why we need to prioritize our children. If you are not willing to prioritize your children, then don't bring them.
Don't come.
But this is the best place to bring them at the moment. It is the best place. The only thing you need is to learn and understand the system, and willing to unlearn.
Unlearn.
Yes,
and unlearn.
willing to unlearn. That's very important. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. God bless you.